thoughts. Oh, hey,
Hey, welcome everyone. We're here for a very special live today, and we'll introduce our super special guest in just a moment. But let's get us started. Let's please welcome Rashidat, who is an amazing holistic lifestyle influencer, and I just cannot even put into words the beautiful being that you are and all of the things that you do. But in your own words, if you'd like to just give a brief intro and then let's just hop into the dialogue.
let's hop into the dialogue. I think everybody here should know who I am, and if not, if you guys are just new to who I am, I'm Rashidat. Um, I do everything. I do everything. I'm a holistic lifestyle influencer, expert in my own way, in my own divine way. Um, I own a detox cafe out in Dalton. I have um, completed a 200-hour teacher certification. So now I'm sort of an international yoga and meditation teacher. I'm an author of 3 self-help books, ex-bodybuilder. I knows that. That world. And basically, I live a life of self-development, so to speak. You know what I mean? I live a life of constantly developing and self-actualizing and self and understanding self and understanding self. The whole, you know, uh, field of energy that I dwell in, and the energy that I dwell. That's just my constant, you know, search of, so to speak, or remembering. And this is how our conversation kind of started, how we got to this point is that forgetting and remembering sort of thing that happens when you're on this journey of self and knowing, so to speak, that all knowing. So that's who I am. And I'm excited to be here finally on y'all show. Kale and Dale, Kai and Dale Henderson.
You just made a
Y'all,
combination of our names, which is pretty
right,
cool.
right. Just came naturally. Came naturally. But yeah, that's who I am. And we were discussing first, can y'all tell my viewers who y'all are? Because I want them to know how amazing you guys are and what y'all do, and the impact that Kai has made on my life for the last, I don't even remember if has it been 3 4 years, Kai? I stopped counting, you know, doesn't even matter, but she's been in my life and played a big impact and a big role on the success of Rashidat. So y'all gotta get to know her. So follow her. Okay. And her newly wedded husband. Please. Please. If you love me, you're gonna absolutely love her. So it's the name of the game. So yeah, please.
Thank you. Thank
You're
you so
welcome.
much. It's been an amazing journey to really be in the unknown and to follow intuition, to follow heart like breadcrumbs, and to be led to each other in this way. It,
Hmm.
I can't say that it was a coincidence, and I can't say that it was an accident because neither of them encompass the just genuine relationship that we've been able to develop over the years. And when I say that about you, Rashidat, I feel like I'm just talking about the relationship in general, the way that we all come into each other's lives and weave throughout each other's existences and realities is so intricate and sublime. So thank you so much for being here and for making a stand as who you are in the world.
Thank you. Thank you. You know, it's funny because I used to go live a lot, and I remember being in this space of wanting to teach everyone what I know. And I would get online every week. Kai, you remember because you used to do the designs for me every week, and I would just pour out these little bits and pieces of this journey that I've been on since I can even remember. And I try to share these bits and pieces while I'm in that frequency of where I'm at in that moment, because I'm not always in this high frequency. There's, I think what I learned during the journey is it's not always about being in a high frequency. Do you think that?
Oh, you waiting for me?
Uh-huh.
Oh, in the silence, I thought like she was going to answer. Can you say that one more time?
Is it so I'm realizing that there was this moment I was so chasing this.
Mm-hmm,
I want to stay in this high frequency. I got to stay
mm-hmm,
in this high frequency until it came to a point that um, it became part of my brand. Like, oh, your energy has to stay in this specific energy, and I started to feel guilty when it wasn't. So this constant desire to get to this high frequency or this peaceful state in
mm-hmm,
order to I'm realizing in order for me to actually conceptualize what peace is, I have to know what unpeace is, so to speak.
mm-hmm,
I often forget I'm such at peace that I forget that I'm at peace, so I create a fucking drama to
mm-hmm,
let me to assure me that I was at peace. You know what I mean? Like, so is it even well, I guess any truth that you make it'll be,
mm-hmm,
um but we know the truth of the universe, that is a polarity. So it's almost like where there's good there's bad, where there's light there's dark. And it's a what Kai always teaches me, it's a collective thing, it's a integrative thing, you know what I mean? It's neither separated, it's this and that, it's not this or that, so to speak. And I always found it, what I've learned through this forgetting and remembering stages of my journey is, damn, is peace all there is? Can you learn just as much through peace as you do with destruction? I mean, they're both. I mean, some of the awesomest times is when I was at my darkest, is when I learned the most. At this peaceful state, I'm like, yeah, it is what it is. Life is beautiful. So, or sort of this hippie mentality, like it is what it is, and let life flow. But then, if it flows, it's kind of like, is this, is this, is this? Are we capable of reaching this maximum awesomeness that we all so search for? This no suffering. Is there a level of suffering that has to happen? I mean, it is death and life.
mm.
I said a mouthful, right? I know.
No,
I know.
you said a beautiful mouthful.
I don't, e- I don't even know the question. You know what I mean? Because every
Yeah,
time I ask the question, there's the answer. You
yeah.
know what I mean? Like,
I,
there's this game. This like it's funny. But yeah.
yeah. And thanks for sharing that. You definitely said a lot of resonating things, not only for myself, but collectively, a lot of people out there are doing the same thing, in which this search for, let's say, enlightenment, this search for the truth, this search for God, or whatever the search is, this search of trying to find, like you mentioned before, this high vibrational place to be able to be in. And then when certain situations happen, you feel like I'm not there anymore because this situation and what's happening. And it's so
But
funny.
you're not there because
Mhm.
positive and negative can't dwell in the same place,
Why
can it?
not? Why not?
I mean, the same way as water and oil don't mix. It just doesn't. There's a particular, for me, Dale, there's this particular characteristics that occur when I'm doing the spiritual work, I'm
Hmm.
fasting. There's a specific character that automatically comes,
Hmm.
and she doesn't. And I'm sorry. It would be very difficult for me to try to integrate this. Let's just use a whole opposite end of a spectrum for me because I've been here. I I'm not able to do the same rituals that I did back when spirituality or knowing self even mattered. Uh, so there's certain rituals that I don't do anymore, and there's certain habits that I can't do anymore if I want to stay in a high frequency. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you want to stay there, you can't do this, and this. So if I can't do this, and this, I'm changing my daily habits. Therefore, I'm going to continue. I'm going to start changing. My thought process is going to start changing. My perspectives, people that I hang around, things are going to matter to me as much as they did back then. You know what I mean? So to say that they both can be integrated, they both can, that integration process, being alive, that's going to be very, to me, that's going to be a challenge. It's going to be a constant resistance because that's just like trying to shake up water and oil together. It's going to be constant resistance. It's going to look like it's connected, and you're going to look at it again and like, no, you know, and that's what I feel like it's so, that concept is so the same as trying to integrate this spiritual, living from a spiritual place to uh, living in a spiritual place on the outside, so to speak. And you know,
Hmm.
I don't believe in inside and outside because we talked about this. It's a oneness. It's just a, you know. But I
Yeah.
learned during this entire journey. Every time I forget and I go back, it feels such like home. It's almost like there's not a searching that happens. It's a revealing that happens when we say I'm in search of evolving. I'm in search of self. It's really a revealing that happens because when you find self, it happens like that, and then it's like, oh, and then you kind of get drawn back in, so to speak, like, oh no, that's unfamiliar, but it feels so fun. And then you're out here and pressing alarms and making sure that you're on in a timely manner, and you got to make sure you pay those taxes, and you know, we get back into it and we forget.
Yeah.
uh, uh,
Mm.
The veil is pulling back over. Bye bye. Bye bye.
It reminded me of this perfect quote from Buddha when Buddha says what's happened before enlightenment and after enlightenment. Before enlightenment, you're
You do
washing.
nothing. Oh,
No,
yeah,
no,
yeah.
you do laundry. What happens
After
after
enlightenment,
enlightenment? You do
you do
laundry.
laundry. Yes. Yes. You do laundry. Yes. Yes. Absolutely. That statement is so damn true. So I think the the putting the intent, well, taking the intent of searching out of it. There's no searching because that means when you think you're going to find something, that stuff has to be different.
Yeah.
It was a story I think Alan Watts told about this great spiritual teacher, and everybody's online. They like, oh, he knows everything and he's this spiritual person. If I just go around him, my life is gonna goddamn change. And I honestly, people have felt that about me. So that in there. So they pack up. This group. They pack up. They go and see the guru, and they're so excited to fucking see him. And they all get up there, and they found out that he smoked cigarettes. and and they say, "Oh, it's okay. He's they make an excuse for it. He knows it all." And then they find out that that he's married and has kids, and and he loses his patience.
Mm.
And they find out that this and they start talking. The spiritual guru, oh, he smokes cigarettes, and he gets angry at his students, and then they make an excuse for him again. It's almost like, oh, he's only testing us to make sure that we were really on our path. He was just testing. We make excuses. These spiritual people make excuses. Oh, you just testing my personal patience. Now I know my patience. You know what I mean? So it's I'm saying that story to say that it's exactly how you mentioned it. If once you find out, you still go to work and do everything that you're supposed to do. And there's no difference. You won't change. It's almost like, for me, you saying that you're not changing, but I feel like you're gonna do the laundry a little different when you know.
Exactly.
So I know that the guru said that, but I think you do change a little. There's
Yeah.
an energy about you. You walk different.
Mm-hmm.
I've noticed it.
Yeah.
When you know, your perspective is different. So
Exactly.
you may use a little less detergent, just because you may really top it off and not use all of the detergent when
Mhm. Yeah.
because everything is one, if that makes sense. And we're all here together, inhabited this earth, and we're all trying to make it safe for us to stay. So when I'm, before spirituality, before knowing, washing dishes, and then after knowing, you still wash dishes, but you still have a different perspective on it, I think.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I I agree with you. That's perfect. It's a great example of just how a lot of us, we take things for granted of doing, let's say we're doing like a similar thing over and over and over again. So we feel like it's the same experience happening over and over and over, and not really being very present to the fact, like you said, we're always changing. So for example, I normally take a shower in the morning. The shower I take this morning is a different shower than the one I took before, even though it seems like I'm in the same space doing the same thing over again. But I'm a different person headed into it today compared to yesterday. And
Yeah,
every experience is the same thing. We're always expanding, but we take things for granted because we feel like it's the same thing. Like, oh, I'm doing this over and over and over and over and over again. And not even ask the question, like, who am I right now that's doing that right now? Who am I being right now as I'm doing this dishes, or as I'm doing the laundry, or whatever I'm doing?
that's true mindfulness, Bill. That's
Yeah.
that's that's hard work.
Slow it down.
Yeah,
I
slowing it down to be present at every thought.
Yeah.
You can't you can't do dishes. You can't have distractions. Now, I understand why monks go, and people go away, and I understand why Jesus was like, hell with y'all. I can't be around y'all for like 40 days. I can understand it. I totally understand, because that is the true way of acknowledging self. Like, if you think about what you're thinking about every day, and that's really meditation, right? We're talking about meditation right now. But if you're thinking about everything you're thinking about, and that's, may I add really fast, when you understand that when you think about what you're thinking about, you're not the thought, you're the thinker. Mm, mm. You're not the thoughts, you're the thinker of the thought. Mm. So, um, with that being said, what do y'all think about that?
I want you to chime in as well.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm curious, what's the difference? And I'm just asking this from a perspective of just being curious. What's the difference between meditation and judgment? It's like we can observe the thoughts and then I guess maybe just like you're saying, like, asking the questions and then the answers are coming. I'm just talking this out. Maybe being attached to them in some way, while we're observing the thoughts becomes judgment. That attachment could be, or not.
I think we do sort of, I mean, I think to live in a creative way, because we're all creating our realities through thought. Um, I just feel as though when you're in this space of meditation, you are simply just observing the thoughts. You're not attaching any emotion to it. You're not, and that's the practice of not detaching yourself from your thoughts as though you are them. You know what I mean? You're more than just the thoughts. So I think the judgment comes in when you actually attach yourself to the thoughts,
Mm-hmm.
like how you were saying. Yeah, if you and I think a lot of people have yet to get to this space of understanding that you're not the thoughts. You're actually thinking the thoughts. You're the consciousness that's thinking the thoughts. If you didn't have a consciousness that thought the thoughts, thoughts the thoughts, then there wouldn't be any. So there has to be a sort of awareness high of the thoughts. And when you sort of embody the awareness, you detach yourself from what it is that you've been thinking, what it is that your thoughts are. You become the awareness. And know having that experience of detaching yourself from thought to experiencing the thought or witnessing the thought, beautiful things occur from that. This is enlightenment to me. This is a space of knowing truth, because that statement alone is loaded, because you then realize that your entire life is consisted of these thoughts and these these things that's been going on in your head made reality. So with you knowing that brings a forth a power within you and an understanding within you that is sort of, when you first feel it, scary, because now you have all of this power. You're the awareness behind thought. So now you have all the power to observe thought and make it manifest or make it kind of sort of move over. It doesn't serve me. It brings a sort of responsibility so strong onto you. And Lord knows you better not say you feel like God. Ah, you might get strangled or killed. Don't say that. So let me forget real fast, because then I won't be able to fit in. Mm,
Wow. Yeah.
mm.
Whew.
You
Let
can't
me.
hold on. You can't hold on to thinking and having that deep understanding of you are the awareness. Oh God. Oh God. Oh God.
Hmm.
No pun intended.
Yeah.
Oh God. So you so there's sort of a unconscious forgetting that happens. And this is when the world of material world comes kicking in, and it's okay to attach yourself to things and people and concepts. Because if you attach yourself to sheer understanding that you are awareness, how can you live among fellow human species? There's a small group that you can really uh, adapt with or understand with, because being out here in the matrix, you walking around telling people you are an awareness, you are spirit. Ha ha, funny. Really? I got bills to pay. I got taxes and I got a business to run, girl. You talking about what? I'm what? And I can do what, girl? I need these coins. I need to be able to take care of future generations with materialistic things. I ain't say that. What do you mean? What do you mean? So yes, forget, my child. Forget, forget. And try to, like you say, Kai, integrate that knowing into everyday life. Let's integrate the knowing of true self into everyday life. And that is my purpose. Then we find purpose. Okay, let's see how I can integrate this knowing with all of this shit. All of this shit we create. I mean, it's beautiful creation. I might add. I mean, we really outdid ourselves. we we really outdid ourselves. We got a lot of stuff to do, and we create more and more and more. As long as we don't blow this shit up again, we'll be all right. Then it comes into this. Now you're born again. You're like a little child. I don't know this. I don't know how to do this. I'm innocent. Let's play. We can do anything we want to do. We have free will. We live in America. We can do anything and be anything we want. Even the president of the United States. Look at Trump. He became president. He believed so strong that he could be the president of the United States, and he did it. That's the utmost epitome of the world. You're the president of the United States. He did it. Bravo. Now let's see what we can do. Let's have fun. Let's do and fuck up as much as we want to. Right?
This is good. This is why I'm just sitting with this. Sitting in this space because there's just so much profound information that was just shared. So
That's just the way I think.
and your being.
So, in the integration conversation about oil and water, would you say that we are the glass?
I would say we are the glass, the oil, and the water.
Embrace it all.
We are all of it.
Yeah.
And at different states, at different experiences, different timelines, we get to experience all of them. We get to experience all of them consciously. But unconsciously, there's today I'm the water, tomorrow I'm the oil, today I'm the glass. When we live in a human state of reality, there's separation. That's why war, and that's why black and white, and that's why there's separation is here in this dense 3D world. We created it that way because we needed contrast. We needed time. We needed calendars. We needed all of this shit to contrast and make sense of the shit. Because if not, we would just be floating around, blowing each other up and lighting each other on fire. So we needed some sort of fucking direction. Someone tell us what to do. So we collectively came together and created that shit. So some of it's stupid, some of it's great, and it's going to continue to be that way because this was a big experiment in itself anyway. To me, it's just like it's just we're just kind of floating along and seeing what feels good in the moment. We feel good. That means we're feeling too good, but it's going to be some drama going to happen because that's just karma. That's the way it, it just happens. It, I don't know. It's just when you I was talking to, I'm going to talk to my Instagram and Facebook, whoever's watching. I was talking to Dale and Kai the other day, and I was having these moments of feeling though I was going, I visited this a space within myself that was a void. There was, there was, there was this space of sort of no emotion. There wasn't a this or that. There was a this and that togetherness. There was a spontaneous everything happened at once. And I knew within myself that if I stayed in that space, that I would cease to sort of exist. I felt, it was because I didn't feel attached, but I felt attached to everything. It was both everything happening at once. There was a love and a hate within me. There was a happiness and sadness within me. They're both like it was everything was happening all at once. And the only word that I could come up with is void. You know what I mean? Because sometimes when there's a place that we dwell that you can't conceptualize with the use of English words. It's just sound. It's just a vibration. So there's not this. I can't say I feel good, and I can't say I feel bad. I can't say I'm just in between. There's just a simultaneous thing happening, and um I get into these moments of, I guess, my personal truth that I feel so um the only thing that I can come up with is close to God. That's but I feel like that's weak. So I'm gonna just say that for the lack of being and talking in on these social media outlets and allowing this to be spoken in words. There's this feeling close to God where um, I feel okay with being there, so to speak, so to speak. Um, but I also love being here. And I'm saying that, and it sounds as though, and I know it sounds as though there's a separation that comes up, like here and there, that makes it two places, but it's really not. It's it's wilder than our. It seems like it's sort of wilder than our mind that can comprehend at this level. So I do my best to listen to um, music and go work out and feel sort of in this body. So I create feeling experiences. So I'll train or I'll run or I'll eat or I'll make some money or I'll call my mom to get these sort of feelings to conceptualize being human because that's all they are. And now I feel robotic. Now I feel like, okay. And eventually that feeling will disappear and I'll just merge into this three dimensional world again. and I'm just going with the flow of what everybody else is doing and what everybody else, everybody else wants to be, you know, themselves, so to speak, and we're all one. So I get caught into that whole world of life. Mm. So so there's there's I'm hoping. I'm not even, I hate to even use the words hoping. Like everything that I say is with the human words is just not enough these days. It's like maybe I need to learn a new language because me speaking, so to speak, seems like it's not enough. This, this, this day to day is, I want to know, and I'm not even saying I want to know more. It just seems like it's not enough. I'm just going through the motions. I know I'm literally going through the motions. What can I do today to feel? What can I do today to feel? Because I want to feel a specific emotion. So I'll do a specific thing to feel a specific emotion. And then now I'm considered a citizen of the outside world. Thank you very much. I can do this to create a feeling. And now, thank you. Thank you.
I have a question for you as you just mentioned that of doing something to bring forth a certain feeling. Have you ever went to this void, this energy you talked about, to embody that feeling before even going into the external world?
Yes. And when I do embody both, the external world seems so fake. It's
Yeah.
sort of just an act. I'm acting. I'm acting. I'm
Mm.
acting for you to feel
Mm.
yourself, for you to know yourself.
Hmm.
I have to act. There's an act, so to speak. There's an act that's happening and to be conscious of it is sickening. So I'd rather forget what I know and just act until I die.
What are you afraid of?
Nothing.
So,
Right now, no, lying. That's why I'm going to get hypnotized. I have a fear of small spaces. That, but even that, I have an awareness of that's happening. And
hmm,
I need to know what parts I need to unlock in order to self realize what that is. I know certain parts of the human flesh has been shut down purposefully. There's certain things like has sometimes when people will say I don't know if I've ever been touched as this may be a small a sensitive subject, but of course that's just a feeling anyway. But there's certain things, traumas that happen to you as a kid, and you decide to forget them so that you can continue to live as in human form to do this. So um, there's I'm feeling as though that I lost my train of thought because I'm thinking too many things at once right now. Hold on. Say what was the question again, Goodell?
about fear.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So with the claustrophobia, I'm just noticing that there's a place that I what is it called? Not smothered. I'm thinking a different word. I can't think of it right now. But I smothered this something traumatizing happened to me that triggers every single time. So it's not really a fear. It's just of an annoyance at this point. It became an annoyance. I don't fear it because in the time it's just kind of like because it's feeling like I'm about to die in small spaces. So
Mm,
at this point, it's like, okay, this is my time. Let's go in
mm,
peace. Fuck it. You know what I mean? But I want to know where in the did that happen? What did I like smother to allow this something to keep triggering that? So that's something that I just want to know. Even if nothing can be done, at least I can say, that's where that shit came from. All right, moving right along.
mm. Yeah, it's so it's synchronistic that you mention that because I too in this journey would have the same type of thoughts like where is this coming from? I know there's something happening, but I'm not able to see it right now. But I know there's something I need to go into to get in a deeper awareness of myself. And what I've been doing is for myself, I set a time every day just to be still and be with myself. And I just sit in silence so that way I could get into the awareness and allow whatever needs to come up.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I just start crying. Sometimes I
Mm-hmm.
feel angry. Sometimes I just
Mm-hmm.
start laughing and that or whatever. But by me just surrendering, it allows that part of me to come up. And the same thing, like when you say like the claustrophobia, the like that annoyance, but like going into that space, like oh my god, like I'm about to like feel like I'm about to die or this other type of things. It's like it's because the energy is getting so intense to be released. And for myself, I had the same type of experience. It'll get so intense for me released. Then what I usually do, I bring it back in because it's too intense for me right now. I don't want to sit with this too
Yeah.
long. So I want to go distract myself and go do some other stuff. Or like you mentioned, I want to forget it. I want to forget stuff. So that way,
Let
because
me, yeah, let me bury it. Yeah.
I know if I sit in this awareness long enough, the shit that's within me that needs to come up as I'm raising my vibration is going to come up. It's going to be intense. And it's also because you're
Yeah.
in labor, birthing a new you.
Yeah.
So it's the labor pains. And a lot of times, and this is a collective thing, when life starts to get really painful and intense, we want to distract ourselves so that way we're not going to have to like sit in the
Yeah.
pain as long as we should sit with it to be able to transmute it into that awareness and love. So like making the oil go into the water type of thing. But
What if we're supposed to use that pain and allow that to come up and use it in something else, like magic, so to
yeah,
speak? Like, like, no pun intended. But what if we're supposed to, use that particular, because this is you know, that trauma obviously happened for a reason. What if it's not always to dissect you? What if it's just and I hate to go on what ifs because we can go all day with what ifs because my imagination goes insanely wild. But what if we're not supposed to sort of do anything with that energy? What if we're not supposed to do anything with that energy as far as uh, trying to decide who we are? What if we can actually do that and simultaneously use that sort of dark energy for magic? Because a lot of people like I didn't understand the power of that specific energy. That frequency is that high. It's almost like orgasms. That's its energy that you can do something with. That energy of an orgasm create a life. So the energy of something negative, what can that do? Man. You know what I mean? Like, oh shit. Then you know what I mean? Because I felt a power a anger inside me that I've never felt before. And it's an anger, a darkness that's, I feel like, that's in me that, like, yo, if I can stir up that much fucking energy in a positive, and it can be used to create a life, what can, I guess, the dark energy can take away life. I guess, I don't know. That just came to me as I was, sort of dialoguing here. um, so I guess and someone just said anger is an extremely powerful emotion for magic. Again, I don't really practice magic that way, but I can say, you remember how we were saying trying to integrate. So the sort of inner and outer world. I would say if I was doing magic, that would be a great way to integrate the two worlds.
Yeah.
I do magic and you pay me for it.
Yeah.
Simple as that. So now I'm integrating both worlds, right, guy?
Yeah.
But you got to be careful because they'll kill you for that.
Yeah.
You can't do magic publicly. Don't do that. Be careful.
Yeah.
So so basically, Kai, with me just sharing that, basically, when that integration happens and I start to dwell in this physical form, knowing what I know without forgetting, and if I sort of do that in a way where I am selling this knowledge, is that sort of an integration enough?
Mm-hmm.
The more, because selling is sort of a human thing we created to give us this feeling of like authority and loyalty, royalty and shit. So it's a material fucking thing, right? Money for my gifts.
A
No,
form of exchange, right?
Yeah, form of
that's
exchange.
that's an exchange. I think that's fair.
Mm-hmm.
I've gone through it to share with you. Now you pay me, and that's sort of a great integration process, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But money is relatively new, you know?
Money is
So we could very well say bartering. We very well could say sharing. We very well could say teaching and learning. They're all energy exchanges.
yeah. So the integration process doesn't necessarily have to do with money. You can integrate it by just giving your energy. But that's more of I just feel like just giving your energy is more of a spiritual concept. And we were talking about integrating the spiritual and the matrix. Am I on the same page?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Using the
So
energy.
if the matrix requires us to have coins to live here and to drink water, and they're charging us for water, which is 75% of the earth. So with that being said, we gotta sort of charge money because we've made that important for some odd reason. Collectively, we said, hey, I guess because of the feeling that you get, the emotion that you get when you got a lot of fucking money. I guess that's why we made it so fucking important. And sharing and caring isn't enough these days. Well,
Yeah.
isn't enough to get to that level to buy material things, to then create more emotion of, I've arrived and I'm successful. Hey. And I'm saying it so sarcastically because it's so just,
Yeah.
ugh. Like, ugh.
Yeah. It's those things. What's it called? Like words. Words have a meaning. Words have infinite meanings to each and every one of us. So let's say like love. In this way, success, love to me, love to Kai, love to you, it's a entirely different thing.
Oh, yes.
So even like success, and it's very also interesting because the success to me before last year or even last year or years before it's completely different now. Success before, like you mentioned, like make a lot of money, be successful. Success to me when I was younger was, oh, let me see how many girls I can bag, type of thing.
Yeah.
That type of success.
It's
But
not,
like
yeah.
success to me now is just so simple. Success to me is a deeper connectedness to who I really am and integrating that into this present reality and to this how may I serve today? That type of thing. It's more
That's
simple
success for you.
because
That's successful to you.
yeah, for me, because embodying that, everything else is taken care of. All these other
Yeah.
things I was chasing and all these other chasing and striving for, it just happens because I'm just going into this deeper connectedness with myself and just able to bring that energy, like you said, the energy. No
Yeah.
matter what, we even if people don't believe it, there's energy always around us,
Yeah.
energy changes that happen. And just by showing up and a knowingness and believingness of who you really are, it shifts the room wherever you come into. And I'm pretty sure all three of us could attest for that. We just walk into a room and just knowing who we are and saying that connectedness, it just shifts the vibration of the place that we're in.
Yeah. Yeah. And it does. Like you said, your level of success has changed tremendously. So have mine. Girl. I mean, success for me was if I can go and smoke some blunts on a daily basis. It was like, yes, I had a successful day. I got a lot of blunts today, y'all. And then my success was how much I can save, and that was of course taught. Um, and I definitely understand, Dale, the level of success that you are talking about. Success is definitely perspective. It's relative to everybody. It's definitely, but um, there's I'm at a space of I want I'm in a space of, how can I say this politely, um, of embodying royalty, um, and embodying that royalty. If I'm going to act, since this is my field and my TV that I can act on, Earth, life, being human, um, I would rather take upon the act of royalty and um, um, connecting success with royalty to be able to use the energy of money to um, create, well, sort of help me as a tool to create the reality that I see fit for this queen. And because we've made this tool, this energy of money, I want to, if I can use a barbell to get my booty big, I can certainly use money to help invest somebody's business. You know what I mean? Why not? Um, if, like I said, if if I am choosing to dwell in this matrix, this three-dimensional world, I would choose that. You know what I mean? That sort of definition of success,
Mm.
to be able to not have that specific tool like money to ever it to be completely expendable for me forevermore, just like water, food, and clothing. That's going to be completely, it's going to be just as easy as walking to the store and getting me a gallon of water,
Mm,
as it should.
mm,
That's if, like, again, if I'm choosing this reality, that's what I'm gonna choose
mm,
to do that. I want to be able to use the money as I use toilet paper. God damn it! That
mm,
if I can easily get toilet paper, I should easily be able to get that other fucking paper.
mm.
That's just the way I see it. But I'm going to. We got a few more minutes, and my Instagram is about to go off in a minute and 10 seconds because we've been on here for an hour, and I can go on and on, but I have to get ready for my hypnosis at 12:30. Luckily, it's in walking distance, right around my house. Go figure.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. So I love you guys. Do y'all want to say anything else? Thank you, Instagram, for um listening to me and my inner thoughts, and Belle and Kai's inner thoughts. And yeah, thank you for having this conversation with me.
Yeah. I love the fact for you, you have a powerful foundation of how you want to step into this matrix of how you want the energy exchange of money, but also like how you want to be treated, that royalty energy. And the cool thing is, you're stepping into going to hypnosis. This allows you that opportunity to do this live, stepping into this space as the royalty that you are.
Mm,
And let's see what happens by you embodying that and stepping into that.
mm.
Yeah,
I,
powerful foundation. This is a powerful foundation that you came across now, and now you get to
oh yeah,
build from that.
oh yeah, it's pretty powerful, deal.
Yeah, I had to mention it to you because I was like, wow.
It's yeah, it's to think about it like that. Yeah, I
Yeah,
appreciate. I
no
appreciate.
problem.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here and for sharing yourself today.
Thank you.
We appreciate you, and thank you everyone for watching. You are all making this possible as well. We're co creating this moment and this information to be shared, which is so important.
Thank you, Kindale.
You're
You're welcome.
welcome.
Take care.
Take care.
Okay, peace.
Peace.